iPad. I have to turn it up and down. Yeah, that's so weird. Why? Hi. How's everybody doing? I was not prepared for this. Welcome to Live Streams with Neisha, where she doesn't know what she's doing 90% of the time. Hello, Trucka. Can you guys see me? Yeah, okay, cool. What's up? I don't know why it's doing this to me. Is that gonna? No, now I can't see the comments. As you can tell, I am not in my home. I am in San Antonio at a hotel. This is great. This is great. Oh, okay, there we go. I think it's gonna stay now. Hi. Thank you, Bra Rose. This is another Abercrombie dress. I'm obsessed with everything they have right now. I don't even know where my camera is. Here? Here's my camera. Yes. Okay, well, the comments are over here, the camera's over here, so I'm gonna be looking wonky. Why am I not in the center? That's so weird. Oh, hey, Chris Cook in Nashville. Yeah, so we've been in San Antonio since, what day did we get here? Thursday. So, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's third day here. So mostly been hanging out with my family, and we did take the kids to the Doozeum. I posted a little short. So the Doozeum is like a kids museum with lots of activities, lots of STEM stuff, water, bubbles, balls, electronics, experiments. It's amazing. So if you're ever in San Antonio and you have littles, even big kids I think would love it. I liked it. I had a lot of fun too. I'm gonna have to look at the comments on my phone, I think. That'll be easier. Yeah, I can see it now. All right. So this, I don't think I've ever done an up and down live stream on YouTube, so this is way different, but it's cool. It's cool. It says there's only 3 people on here. Is that real life? I don't think that's real. Because there's way more of you guys in the chat. Anyways, good morning. We haven't done a Saturday live stream in forever. The kids are in the next room with my parents. So if you hear them, they're here too. Chris says, I told Ash even now I'd like the Doozeum. Yeah, I think the Doozeum is the perfect blend of children's activities, but the adults love it too. It says 56 people. Okay, I feel like that's more real. On my phone it says 3. Who knows? Oh, anyways, guys, we're having a good time. I miss the farm though. I miss my chickens, I miss my dogs, I miss my cats, I miss my sheep. But we're having a good time. We will be back in just a few days. We're not gone for very long, but still. Also, today's live stream is sponsored by Element. I was going to show you guys how I pack my Element. This is my bag of Element. The electrolytes that I use. So I have all the different flavors. Got the raw and the watermelon. Beckett's favorite is the citrus. We take these on the road with us no matter where we're going. My mom drinks them too. If you ever feel like crap after a flight, hydrate. Everybody says drink water, but they never say drink electrolytes, and I think that makes a really big difference. But I mix mine with Topo Chico. Always in Texas, Topo Chico is my water of choice. It's so nice and fizzy. I just love it. So there's a link in the description for those of you who are new. The Element will send you a free sample pack so you can try all the different flavors, because they do have a bunch of flavors. They also have the sparkling, which is a pre-mixed can, and it's massive. You may know how much is in the pre-mixed sparkling can. I think it's 40 ounces. It's massive, and those are really good too. The unflavored has no extra stuff in it. It's just magnesium, potassium, and sodium. There's no citric acid. Some people are sensitive to, I'm sensitive to citric acid, but these are just the electrolytes. No sugar, no sweetener. They are very, very salty, but I really like that. The flavors are salty too, but then there's the added flavor to kind of distract you from the saltiness. But the citrus also makes a good mocktail. If you like margaritas, but you're trying to stay off the tequila, also makes a regular margarita really good too. So, pro tip. Oh, Michelle said, Neisha, try not to eat that delicious Puerto Rican food. Too late. Too late. I did it. And it was amazing. Did I pay for it? I absolutely did. Absolutely. But not as bad as I normally do. I feel like my gut's not as mad at me, but I didn't eat that much. Normally I go ham. But I ate before I went to my abuela's house. So my abuela and my tia Maria, they cooked empanadas, chicken fricassee, rice, obviously. Bacalaitos, which is like a codfish blended with a batter, and they deep fry it. Totally not keto at all. Jen says, is it safe for children to drink these? The electrolytes? Yeah, my kids have been drinking these since they were like 1. And I don't give them a whole packet. I give them like a 1/4 of a packet in their little water cups, but they love them. We've never had any problems. Hey, Crystal. Yeah, I like the unflavored the best too. Claudia, help me settle a debate. Should a sandwich or burger be squished before eating it? You should eat it without the bun, and then you don't have that problem. But yeah, it should be squished. Do you ever use Redmond's electrolytes? I used to, but I just prefer. Back in the day, I've been keto now, keto carnivore, keto whatever, nearly 8 years. I think this is the 8 years, and I've used all kinds of electrolytes. The problem is a lot of them clump up. Not all of them come in the individual packets, which I prefer, instead of the tubs, because we're on the road a lot with the kids and doing stuff and traveling, and this is much easier to carry around. And these dissolve really, really well. Some of the other ones sit at the bottom, which I understand why they do that. I just don't like that. Yes, Puerto Rican food. It's the best. Is it good for you? It's good for your soul. That's it. Oh, Michelle's going on the low-carb cruise to Alaska. Yeah, we're not going this year, and I don't know if we'll go ever again. Honestly, I just don't want to travel like I used to. I used to love traveling, but now I love staying at home in my little cozy corner in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, so probably not going to be going many places in the foreseeable future, but have fun. Low carb cruise is an amazing way to go have fun and also learn and be around people who are also on the low carb journey. There's usually really good speakers. I'm not really sure who's speaking this year. I know a few of our coaches are going from the Proper Human Diet community, so you'll be able to meet them. And yeah, it's awesome, and plus you get to go places, so that's nice. Yeah, I'm in my homebody era. And when I get in the house, because our house still isn't done, I know you guys want to update, but there is nothing to update. The doors finally came in, but they're not even up yet. There is no paint on the walls. There's nothing. It's just the shell still. But when the house is done, I will never leave. I already told Ken, I was like, good luck getting me to go anywhere. No, not almost finished keto, Joyce. I mean, I don't ask for a timeline because I feel like people in construction always tell you a timeline, and it's never, ever what actually happens. So what's the point? It'll be done when it's done, and I will keep you updated. Don't you worry. Hey, Coach Marcia. There were a few questions before I went live. I'm going to scroll up because one of them was, no, it's not going to let me scroll up. Maybe. Oh, Patty. I would love your thoughts on the ancestral supplements, the thyroid one. I stopped my MP thyroid months ago and I'm feeling it, but I was wondering if those would work in its place. So it's called desiccated thyroid from ancestral supplements, and it is. But the difference between the supplement from Ancestral Supplements and NP, which is a prescription medication, is that you're not guaranteed the dosage on the Ancestral Supplements. It's not put through a test to be like, this is 300 milligrams. That's just, I just pulled that out of my butt of desiccated thyroid. It's just desiccated thyroid. It can help support thyroid health, but it is not a replacement for a prescription desiccated thyroid medication. So if you're feeling it, I would say it's probably too early for you to be coming off of your medication, and that's okay. Being on desiccated thyroid is not, you're not losing, you're not failing. That's just, you need that hormone support, the real hormone support, to feel your best, and that's the most important thing, is feeling your best. So maybe it's time for you to get right back on that NP so you can feel your best. And then you can try later to maybe lower your dosage or come off of it. Why do you look sad today? Do I look sad? I feel like this is just my face. This is just my face. I don't know. Briar Rose, if we were intended to fly, God would have given us wings. It is, you know, I'll tell you, the kids were amazing on the flight. It was not even a stressful flight. I just love being home. But I wanted to see, my grandparents are in their 90s. It's Beckett and Bonnie's great grandparents. So obviously I want them to have as much time as possible with them. So, you know, sacrifices must be made. Thank you, Ash. Y'all are so sweet. Thank you so much. All right, guys, ask your questions. Put a QQQ in front so that I can point them out. Oh, before I get into questions, book I just finished, the new Hunger Games book. I think I talked about that in a vlog. Sunrise on the Reaping is what it's called. Wow. If you guys haven't read Hunger Games, it's not a kid's book. Okay, it is very political. It is very heartbreaking. It is very moving. Highly recommend reading all the Hunger Games books, but the new one just came out, and oh my gosh, it was just so amazing. Yeah, it's not very sunny here in Texas right now. It's very foggy and dreary, and I really thought we were going to get some really nice sunshiny days, but no. And the kids want to go to the pool, and we can't yet, but I'm hoping. Oh, Vicky. So Vicky said you should read the book Woman of Troublesome Creek. So many people have told me to read that book, and it is on my list. But I have so many books on my to-be-read list that I am playing catch-up. But yes, that is on my list. I've heard really good things about it. I'm about to get hungry. I've been fasting. Yeah, Beckett and Bonnie get more time with Granny Berry than probably any of their grandparents, except for my mom. And yeah, we just saw her like a week ago. She's doing amazing. I should write a book. I should write a book. But currently, I'm not very good at writing books, apparently. I'm trying. I actually have a contract to write a book, and I have too many things on my plate. I gotta give something up. Do I have a book list posted anywhere? Yes, on my Amazon shop page. So if you go to amazon.com/shop/Neisha Loves It, it should be in the link in my videos. If you look under any of my videos, you can find discount codes, links to my Amazon shop page, links to my Instagram, links to Ancestral Supplements, links to Element, links to like anything I have a discount code is under all of my videos. And my Amazon shop page, I have a book list for like my top books of all time and top books of last year. There's a weird noise. Oops. Jolene has a question. I was hypothyroid, but last blood test shows 0.08 TSH, and doc still wants me to stay on Armour Thyroid. I think she's wrong, wants me off iodine, take 6 drops daily. Well, TSH is definitely, that's not right. But just sit down and have a really long conversation, if possible, with your doctor about what your goals are for your thyroid health. Talk about the symptoms that you're still having, if you are currently still suffering with some of the symptoms of hypo or hyper. And you got to work through that. Thyroid health is so, I don't know if you have an autoimmune disease, but you can go from hypo to hyper. It's really hard to keep a balance, especially when you're on meds and your doctor isn't like testing you every 3 months or every 6 months too. Ash, I'm about to get my first tattoo and yours look awesome. Can you tell us about them and what they mean? Yeah, so this one says Excelsior. It means onward and upward. And I got this back in 2020. After our house burned down, and I went through a lot of stuff, and I continued to go through a lot of stuff for 5 years up until last October, and that finally got the door closed on that. This is ataraxia, means inner peace. I think that's self-explanatory. I have moon phases on my back. I go all the way down my spine, and those symbolize the different phases of life, and that we have dark phases and light phases, and we're ever changing. And then I have an ampersand on my ankle. Can you see that? I'm not going to show my feet because that's weird these days apparently. It's an ampersand. It just means and then, because my life is always, I think things are calming down and then something else happened. And then I have my first tattoos on my hip. It's just a bird, and it symbolizes just freedom, basically. I got that after I went through another traumatic event. I don't really talk about all of my trauma. I could write a book about that though. Just one would be, I could write a series of books, actually. We all got it. Tamara, what food did or do you feed your kids that have a 10-month-old? So my kids were started off animal-based. They ate a lot of, they cut their teeth on rib bones. So we would eat ribs and we would put the bones in the freezer. And then they would gnaw on the rib bones. And their first foods were like scrambled eggs, sausage, little pieces of sausage. They would gnaw on strips of steak. So we would cut them in long strips so they couldn't like swallow them whole, and they just gnaw on the steak. Avocado, strawberries, blueberries, we'd smush them. And so that was their first foods on rotation, basically over and over and over again until they were old enough to, you know, eat more stuff like bacon. And they love cheeseburgers. They love pepperoni, like deli meat. They eat a lot of deli meat. They eat a lot of just like meat and fruit. They don't eat any vegetables because kids hate vegetables, and we don't really care if they, I try to get them to eat tomatoes and stuff like that. They don't want to do it, so it's fine. Yeah, we're in San Antonio to see my Puerto Rican side of the family lives in San Antonio, and then also one of my lead coaches in the PhD community, Alyssa, she lives here too. And so we had a meeting about a really big project that we are working on. You will hear about that probably in the next month. We have been working on this project for 5 years. 5 years. And it's finally almost time to let you guys know about it. And I'm very excited. I think a lot of you will be very interested in what we're doing. It's very exciting, but man. Rib bones aren't too sharp for the kids to eat. So pork ribs are they're just this big probably, and they're smooth around the edges. There's nothing, we never had any problems. A lot of people let their kids gnaw on rib bones because it's like not super hard, because they're cooked, right? They're really well cooked. So they're soft, they're not breaking. You don't want to give them any bones that you've made bone broth with, because those are just gonna melt essentially. So you want bones that have been cooked but aren't falling apart. Cindy said, I remember back in January you had a cold. I have a head cold now after hugging a friend at Walmart while she was telling me she was sick. And that was nice of her. What can I do without taking medication? I have bone broth. Yeah, bone broth with a lot of garlic in it. That's going to be great. That's basically nature's penicillin. Really good bone broth with garlic, if you can tolerate garlic. Keeping hydrated, keeping electrolytes in your system, rest. Definitely get your rest. If you want to take a vitamin C supplement, there's some probably good ones. There's an immune support something Alyssa takes that she swears by. I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, just get your rest, get your sleep, get some good quality bone broth in you. It'll pass. Michelle, I'm a new coach. Congratulations. And I have 2 jobs. I cannot give up yet. How did you get started? Well, I mean, I built up a social media following, and I helped Ken build up his social media following, and that really helped. But health coaching, you can go so many ways these days. You can work at a doctor's office now. A lot of doctor's offices who are really aware of that, one of the main things that keeps patients on track is accountability, and having a health coach be that accountability partner really helps with success rates. So that's one option. You can do health coaching online. You can do health coaching in your community. If you have a senior center, you can go be a health coach there. You can do presentations for free for people at like a senior center, at the library, and give away information. That's the first step in building trust with anybody, is that like most of the stuff me and Ken do is free. Because we want to help as many people as possible, and it also builds trust. So if I just came on here and I didn't give you that, I'll try to give all the answers that I can possibly give right here on YouTube. That's one layer of support. YouTube, you come here, you don't want to join the community, you don't want to hire me as a health coach, but you need help. Here, YouTube, that's what I do most of the time here. I give, easy tips, tricks, how to stay accountable, how to stay on a sustainable way of eating, yada, yada, yada. Then there's the layer of the community where we're doing group health coaching. I don't recommend doing group health coaching as a health coach unless you've done one-on-one for at least 3 years to build your confidence and really understand how your system or your coaching program is going to be built. For me, my clients, if I have one-on-one clients, they are almost always going to be going through my protocol, which is a elimination diet with a reintroduction phase to help them build their own proper human diet. So what I can allow into my proper human diet, somebody else may have a sensitivity to. Like, I can eat tomatoes all day, every day. Someone else is sensitive to tomatoes, onions, garlic, seasonings, sauces, whatever. That's my protocol. What's your protocol? What are you going to focus? Niching down is like the number one thing. It's a very important thing, and it's not talked about in a accurate way. I'm going to be teaching more about that in the next few months probably. But yeah, I would say focus in on who do you want to work with, who do you want to help, how do you want to help them, and then if you want to do social media, always give as much information as possible so people know that you know what you're talking about and they're able to trust you, and then they will hire you. But it's going to take time. I was working full-time for a very long time before I quit being a nurse to do social media full-time. And even then I wasn't doing health coaching full-time. I was doing like fashion marketing. Briar Rose, even after 3+ years on carnivore, I'm still not happy with my hair, skin, and nails. I started taking Anthony's, I'm assuming Chafee, collagen. I don't use soap. I use tallow for lotion. I dry body brush. Any other advice? I don't know what's in Anthony's collagen, but I'm assuming it's just a basic collagen blend. Briar Rose, if you're not making your own bone broth and eating the collagen off the top, like that jiggly part, that's the highest quality collagen you're gonna get. Because anything that's going to be in a powder form is not as pure as what you're getting when you make a good quality bone broth and you get that thick jiggly part on. That's collagen. That is the best thing you could possibly be doing for your skin and nails. If you can see, can you guys see my nails? They used to be horrible. I could never have nails that look like this. Like, these are hard. They never break. They grow super quickly. I never could have natural nails because my nails were so brittle and they would just rip. And I could not take, like, it just, I had to get my nails done all the time to even have hands that did not look horrible. And now, like, eating plenty of collagen, lots of bone broth when I can, fatty collagen in the meat, you know, fatty steaks, that has collagen in it too. LS, working on my health coaching, and thank you for your expertise. Hope the new project has to do with helping new coaches. It does, but it's a secret. Angela, what are your thoughts on lymph-sparing liposuction for lipedema after someone has incorporated carnivore diet for so many years and still is not seeing any debulking in areas of diseased tissues? Angela, I don't really have a lot of expertise in that area, but I tell you, Siobhan Huggins. Siobhan Huggins. Is it Huggins or Hudgens?
Who is that?
Come to me.
Okay.
Come to me. I just so happen to have an expert in the building, actually.
Hi.
Hi, guys. So Angela wants to know, what are your thoughts on lymph-sparing liposuction for lipedema after someone has incorporated carnivore for many years and still is not seeing any debulking in areas of diseased tissue?
So lipedema is a genetic thing, has at least a significant genetic component. And even though your lipedema may improve significantly, you're probably always going to be a little bigger there than you'd like to be, and that you would dream and hope that you could be. The liposuction is an option, but it's a quite aggressive option. And keep in mind that liposuction itself can disrupt and destroy lymph vessels. And so you might think you're fixing a problem in one place and actually create a problem further down the chain of events. And so that would be my very, very last option if I had tried literally everything and nothing worked, and you were still not, you were still rationally concerned. And I'm trying to be gentle here, but like some people have irrational goals. And if you need to maybe talk to some friends and family members who truly love you and say, am I being irrational here? Am I wanting too much? And just take their honest advice.
Does Siobhan have a support group for lipedema?
She does.
What is
and
it
there's
called?
that, I cannot remember. I'll
If
look it
any
up.
of you guys know what I'm talking about, Siobhan is her whole thing is about lipedema
Yeah.
and lymphedema,
Yeah,
right?
and she has lipedema, and her transformation has been crazy.
We've seen her whole journey we've seen, and it's
Mhm.
just like amazing, inside and outside. Like she's
Yep.
just so much more her. I don't know how to explain her.
Mhm.
She's an amazing. She's
So
so
much
amazing.
happier,
and
so
she's
much
so
freer.
smart. She's one of the smartest people I've ever met.
Yeah, let me look it up real quick, see if I can find
Okay.
it.
Yeah, you can find that t-shirt on drberry.com/shop. Gosh, I'm such a good businesswoman. And we actually have a new shirt that is, let me see if I can pull it up. Let me see. drberry.com. Dr. Berry has a website, did you know? He does. And it's a farm shirt, so it says OB Farms. It's our design from quite a few years ago. And I don't know why we didn't have it up. It's not on here. Where is it?
I thought she said she added it.
I don't see it. Is there a different? I told her to just put it on the thing. In a perfect branding world, we would have our separate thing for the farm, but we don't. We just don't. Okay, well I'll get it on there. Autumn may have been waiting for my approval, and it's my fault. Lipedema Simplified, as Betsy says, that's what it's called. So check that out. anyways, the new shirt is like a barn and it's got the Tennessee flag on it and it says OB Farms. It's really cute. I thought I brought one, but I did not pack it. Cooking bone marrow bones to make whipped bone marrow for baby's first food. Girl, you're setting your child up to be a genius. Well done. Hey, John. Thank you. Hey, Jam. I've got to get back on ketovore. I was doing good until I backslid. It happens. I was completely off sugar as well. Lost 50 pounds, but gained a good bit of it back. Just get back on the wagon. You're fine. You're not even starting over. You're starting from experience. Morning, Sunny. Hey, Marissa. From San Antonio, too. Aw. Is she the mom that dances on YouTube? Me? I dance, but I don't know that I would call myself a mom who dances on YouTube. Definitely not. I dance in the privacy of my home. Choosing to live. I was surprised to see oxtail are $10 a pound. I know, they used to be so cheap. I get them when I buy my half cow and love them. Didn't realize they were that expensive. So they didn't used to be, and then it became trendy to eat these cuts of meat that used to people didn't even want. And now people have woke up to the fact that these cuts have such high quality fats and collagen, and they make amazing bone broths, and they're great for cooking, and you can make bone marrow butter, and it's all very trendy now, and that's why we're having to pay so much money for oxtail, which is really annoying. I don't think Siobhan does any dancing either. That's not really her wheelhouse. Jolene, is there a place to find an endocrinologist that supports carnivore ketovore? I'm in Connecticut. I have no idea. Not that I know of. But anybody in the comments that knows of somebody who's an endocrinologist in that area that supports carnivore, let Jolene know. Chris Cooking Nashville apparently just did a carnivore enchilada video. I have not watched it yet, but that sounds amazing. If you didn't know, Chris Cooking Nashville is the best carnivore cook on the internet. He makes some amazing stuff. Things you would not believe. John says, I've been introducing myself to fish again. Just got some ground chicken and turkey. Eggs are harder due to cost. So I want you guys all to get online and look for local farms selling eggs. We have 3 or 4 in our backwoods, middle of nowhere, provincial town, selling pastured eggs, $4 a dozen. All right. I want you to do a little research and find, there are people doing that. I promise you there are. You don't have to get your eggs from the grocery store. Okay, and those eggs last longer. They've got the bloom on them 90% of the time, so they're gonna last longer. Just get online, just to do a little bit of research. There is one website that is supposed to, like, you can put in your zip code and it'll be like, here's some local farmers. Facebook Marketplace, post on Facebook. I know I hate Facebook too. All right, I really do. It's my least favorite app. But that's a great place to be like, I'm looking for someone who that's selling eggs. You know, anybody know of anybody in our area selling eggs? There's got to be someone. Hey, Angela. Oh, thank you. Good to see you. And there's always people in my comment section during my live streams. People, I know you. I see your names. I remember your names. You've been around, like, basically since the beginning of my YouTube channel. Thank you for still being here through all my nonsense. Farmers markets, yes, also farmers markets. Costco apparently has pretty good deals on eggs sometimes. I don't go to Costco because that's like an hour and a half drive for me. Plus, I just don't. I prefer to not do that. I would sell you eggs if you live near me, but I don't have I only have 2 chickens laying right now, but I'm working on it. My baby chicks are not baby chicks anymore. They're in their teenager phase. They look really goofy. They are all thriving and doing really, really well, and I miss them. I miss their cute little goofy looking selves. Yeah, I would think Dallas Fort Worth area at the farmers markets. That's gonna, so they're in Nashville, for instance. What's the term I'm looking for here? Hipsters have rebranded things like farmers markets to make things bougie or pricey or crazy. I don't even know how to explain it. So what used to just be like a normal farmers market is now a trend spot, and I would guess that Dallas Fort Worth area is very much the same. Austin, the same too. Anytime some place gets very popular and gets a huge influx of people, especially influencers. I know I'm technically an influencer, but like, it's the truth. These things don't cost what they would cost somewhere else. So if you would drive even an hour outside of Dallas, you could probably find somebody selling eggs at the normal price that people sell home raised eggs. But I don't know. Yeah, it's farm to table. It's like all of this gets beautified and romanticized, and it's all very pretty and aesthetic. And now it's $8 for a dozen of rainbow eggs. Like, you don't need the blue eggs. The brown ones are fine as long as it came out of a chicken's butt and the chicken lived a happy life. Like, that's what we're looking for here. Okay. Stephanie, how much protein should a 60-year-old woman eat? I'm a keto lifestyle, so I don't know how tall you are, how much you weigh, what your goals are, but on average, a woman needs at least 90 grams of protein, and fat as well, not just the protein. But you can get, there's so many apps online that can help you calculate how much protein, but and I'm not saying eat 90, like minimum 90 grams of protein a day on average. Like, there may be some days where you eat a little less than that. Okay, that's fine. But try to get at least 90 grams of protein in. Oh, Brandy. Brandy is a hairstylist in Texas, and her client brings her eggs. How lucky are you? How do you travel with all those animals you care for? I want some goats and chickens, but don't know how to do that with traveling. We have someone who helps us. She knows all of our animals. She's there at our farm basically every day. But for the most part, like, we need to be home. That's why you probably just hopping in, but I'm not going to be traveling anymore because we're doing so much on the farm now, and we're growing, and the property is growing, and we have a lot of work to do. Traveling is expensive. We don't get our travel paid for 99% of the time. All of our investment this year is going into the farm. So traveling, especially with kids and my parents, so that's 2, 4, 6 people, 6 airplane tickets, hotel rooms, like, it's a lot. So we're here because we want to see my great-grandparents, or my grandparents, the kids' great-grandparents, but after this we're done. No more. Unless Ken has to go somewhere for something, but still. He will be the only one going. I'm not going. Michelle, 55 years old, going through the change. What's your best advice for better sleep and less night sweats? Weight gain, been keto carnivore since 2018. I'm so disgusted and I've gained weight. Don't be disgusted. It's just, you're in a season of big changes. So I just did an interview with my really good friend, Jen Winkler, who is a hormone supportive health coach. Like, she loves talking about women's hormones. And we talked about a lot of stuff on that live stream, mostly pertaining to women of reproductive age. But we're going to do another one for women in menopause. I'll tell you, also Dr. Elizabeth Bright talks a lot about women's hormones, and Mindy Peltz, also women's hormones. I'm not the guru, but I do know a lot of women in their during the change increase their fat intake and see an improvement Also, there's the real hormones, not the fake hormones, that can also help with the transition. Don't get discouraged. Give yourself some grace. It's a hard time. I am not looking forward to that part of my life, but it's just part of being a woman, and don't fight it. Just lean into it and go check out Dr. Mindy Peltz and Dr. Elizabeth Bright. There's a lot of carnivore menopausal topics on YouTube. If you just type in carnivore menopausal women, it should bring up some good live streams with some of these leading experts. Oh, thanks, Brandy. Thank you, Holly. I love you guys. Oh, Jesse. Thank you. Thank you. Elizabeth says, I'm 40, nearly 41 on carnivore and pregnant. Congratulations. Did you take prenatals or individual supplements? So I did not take prenatals. My personal opinion, do your own research, is that prenatals are a marketing scheme. And almost none of the prenatals on the market are actually a good source of those vitamins, meaning like you're not able to even absorb them appropriately. With the exception of folate, that is the only thing that I took orally, and you can find folate in eggs, which I ate a ton of when I was pregnant. Hopefully you're able to eat your meat. You're not having too many aversions. Folate, not folic acid, 600 milligrams, I think, but look it up. Ask your provider. That's the only thing I took besides vitamin D3, K2. I did take that too. I did take iodine, but I take that anyways. And then I ate a lot of things that they say you shouldn't eat as a pregnant person. I ate a lot of raw meat. I ate a lot of raw seafood. I ate a lot of seafood. I ate a lot of liver. I craved it. I also craved dairy, which I don't really like, as in milk. I wanted to drink milk. So if you have access to raw milk, a lot of research shows that raw milk during pregnancy is amazing for your body and the baby. Something you need to remember, especially when you're like, I was late 30s when I had my babies, you're considered geriatric, which is so rude. They should not be calling us that. Is that, you know, it's going to be a little harder on you, but not impossible. And that your body is a vessel, and that baby is the very definition of a parasite. A very beautiful, sweet parasite who is going to suck all of the nutrition out of your body. So if you're not adequately giving your body as much nutrient-dense food, can't talk, as possible, the baby takes priority. The baby's going to take all the calcium out of your bones, all the benefits that you have. If you're not replenishing that, like, the baby's just going to suck you dry, and then you're going to feel like absolute trash. So make sure you are really prioritizing that nutrient-dense food, like liver, like raw milk if you have access to it, like really good, fatty, delicious meat, seafood with the iodine in it, fresh things like that. Obviously, use your little sniffer. Women's pregnancy sniffer is sensitive for a reason. Keep us eating things that would cause us problems, right? So, congratulations. And yeah, so folate, vitamin D3, K2, and iodine, that's what I took. And beef liver, I was eating a lot of liver, but if I didn't like liver, if you don't like liver, then you could always take, like, Ancestral Supplements has the beef liver capsules. That way you can get it without having to, like, gag it down. Oh, congratulations, Jam. Ash said, I loved the live stream you did on women's cycles with Jen. Thank you for putting out so much great content. I've shared it with several ladies who I think it would really help. Oh, awesome. I'm so glad you enjoyed that. I think me and Jen are probably going to do a few more of those focused on women's hormone health. She's amazing, and I could just talk to her for hours and hours about anything. So I'm really glad you enjoyed that. If it's hard to find my live streams on YouTube, so if you go to my home screen on YouTube, it's like, you know, where my banner is. At the top, it'll say, for you, popular, latest videos, whatever. You have to click on live, and that's where all of my past live streams and interviews are. I hope YouTube changes that and makes like a playlist of just everything, so the live streams and the pre-recorded are all on the screen. They haven't done that yet. It's really annoying. Okay, apparently my volume is fine. Coach Marcia says in California farmers market, eggs are $8 a dozen. Yeah, that's not surprising. These are the trendy, popular areas. You see a theme here? But in Podunk, Tennessee, Cow Piss Holler, where I live, one of my friends that I went to school with, he calls it Cow Piss Holler. I've always thought that was funny. $4 a dozen for fresh, farm-raised butt nuggets. $4. And they're beautiful eggs. Like, and this woman, I know her personally, she takes great care of her chickens, and she just, like, loves having chickens. She's got so many eggs, surplus of eggs. Do you take CoQ10? I do not, but some people do. But I don't have any risk factors that I would need to take CoQ10. So. Thank you, Joel. Thank you. Do you guys mind the up and down? I didn't do this on purpose. My iPad, even though it has a camera in the middle, long ways, made me flip it like this. Like I'm on a cell phone, but I'm not. I'm on my big iPad. No. Do you mind it? Is it okay? Rachel, certified nurse midwife here. Your message is refreshing. I wish all women could follow this way of eating. We could have far less complications. Oh, Rachel, I love that you're a midwife. I love having midwives in the comment section. Thank you for being here. And yeah, I totally agree. I think we're going to see an increase in women understanding their bodies more. I think there's a huge disconnect over the past like 50 years of women understanding their bodies and understanding their cycles and understanding pregnancy and understanding menopause. And so we're just so disconnected from our natural rhythms that we don't understand what influences them, like sleep and food and support systems and all the things that were just naturally occurring back in the day when we lived in communities and supported each other just have been blown up. But I think we're going to make our way back to that. What do you think? Thank you, Karina. Love the vertical screen, Jesse. All right, Jesse loves it. All right, cool. Orientation is fine. All right, awesome. Elizabeth, your family is precious and a huge blessing to so many because you stepped out openly to help others heal. It helped heal my EOE. Oh, thanks, Elizabeth. I love you guys. I really do. I know we don't know each other for real, but I love this. My little corner of the internet, especially on YouTube, is my happy place. Not so much everywhere else. Instagram's not bad. It's been, but also I'm not over there saying anything crazy. I'm not inviting chaos into my life. That's just not where I am in my life, in my inner peace era. All right, I'm not inviting chaos. I'm not over there, and I'm not saying anything about people who do that. Like I know they're doing it purposefully. Like, but I'm not eating a stick of butter because I don't want that kind of attention. But people who do invite that, they're okay with that. I'm not. I don't want that. I just want a happy, healthy environment where I can help people, maybe be inspired with my food and my life and have a little happy place that's stress-free on the internet. That is where I'm at right now with social media. But like I said, like people are doing, that gets views. That's smart. If you're trying to grow on social media, absolutely do that stuff. I don't care if I get any bigger on social media. I just don't care. But that's just where I'm at. Bobby, if I take a serving of daily minerals, should I also be adding in a couple of drops of the 2% glucose? Depends on what your goals are. There is iodine in the mineral drops, but not as much as you would get if you were taking straight iodine, right? So it depends on what you're trying to do and how much you're dosing, and if you're on any medications, I do both, and electrolytes. So I take my element, I take mineral drops, I take iodine, I take the FEM hormone support from ancestral supplements that's specifically for females. I take vitamin D3, K2, not as much during the summer because as you can tell, I'm getting plenty of sun these days, being outside on the farm, but in the winter definitely. And anything else? No, I think that's it. There's liver in the FEM ancestral supplements, so I don't take liver and that because it's in there already. Ashley, great question. Is there such a thing as too many raw oysters when you're pregnant? The cravings are strong. Hey, Kim Berry.
No,
Come
there
here.
is no upper limit.
No, I want you to bear witness to how many raw oysters I ate with both of my pregnancies. Okay, how many?
Y'all,
How many did I eat?
just you gotta It was embarrassing. We would go somewhere and get a dozen raw oysters, and I would eat 3 and she would eat 9. And then she'd be like, "You want to get another dozen?" I'm like, "Sure, yeah." And because I've actually looked into oysters and how freaking nutrient dense they are, like they're a superfood. And she could eat 3 dozen oysters
What happened was,
at one sitting.
like, I would kind of get aggravated because when you order oysters at a restaurant, they're meant to be shared. And so we ended up, I would get a dozen and he would get a dozen because I would get aggravated that I didn't get the full dozen, and then we'd have to keep ordering. And then
I think they're meant to be like a frou-frou delicacy. Like, oh, we had some raw oysters.
They're the
and
main course
like
for
a
me.
conversation piece. And Nisha's like, "No, I'm about to eat all these oysters. You get your own."
Especially when I was pregnant, though, man. I just so quickly too. Like they would drop them off, and she'd come back to check on us. They'd be gone. I'd be like, "I need another dozen." And then we'd eat our main course, which usually was like steak tartare. I order off the appetizer meat menu. A lot, even now when I'm not pregnant, but steak tartare, tuna tartare, and then she'd be like, "Do you guys want dessert?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, we want another dozen of oysters."
True story, multiple times.
That was my dessert, and still to this day, if we order dessert, it's either steak tartare, beef carpaccio, tuna tartare, or another dozen of oysters.
100%, yeah.
Chef's kiss. We don't go out and eat that much, but.
And if you guys have seen Bonnie on Neisha's social media, she's pretty smart.
Beckett too. I ate a lot.
Kind of
during
off the
Beckett
curve
too, but
on everything. So
yeah. So I don't know if the limit exists.
No.
On how many oysters you can have.
No. If you're eating oysters and you're like, "Ooh, I don't want any more,"
Yeah,
then don't stop eating them right there. That's
enough.
right. That moment you're done. Yeah. But if you're like, I could eat another dozen.
Yeah, as long as they're fresh and you're not in some sketchy dive bar and they don't smell off, you're gonna know. The minute you put it in your mouth, you know if that's a good oyster or a bad oyster, and like spit it out immediately.
If you find some oysters laying by the road, don't
eat those.
And you're pregnant, don't eat those. But if they're fresh, properly sourced, properly handled, they are a pregnancy superfood. 100%.
Yum, 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 yum. Now I want some oysters. We're going to eat tonight.
Yeah.
Yes. At those of you in the San Antonio area, we're going to J Prime. Yeah, I think it's J Prime.
That's right.
Any of you guys know J Prime? Love it, hate it. I'm gonna do a little video of what we eat. But yeah, Trisha, your nose will know for sure, especially. Are smoked oysters from the store as nutritious? Yes or no?
Not quite as nutritious, but still great.
Not as good, but still fine. I'm so confused. Some of these comments, sometimes I'm like, what? I don't even know what that means. What's a pregnancy food? I miss that. Oysters and liver, too, if you can handle it. Penny says, would love a video on late stage perimenopause coming into menopause. Every day is a new adventure. I can imagine. Yeah, we're going to do way more women's health over here on this channel. I'm going to try to get some of my fellow carnivore meat-based girlies over here to talk about it. Yeah, I love raw oysters. Yum, 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 yum. You've never had oysters? You're 31 weeks pregnant? I love all the pregnant girlies in the comment section. Welcome. I hope you guys are thriving. Definitely have your man take you out for some fresh, delicious oysters. Okay, here's how to order oysters too, just so you guys know, because there's good oysters and there's like mediocre oysters. Always get cold water and ask the waiter, like, how do these taste? Or look on the menu, it should say sweet and briny. That's the ones that are my favorite. They're like, I don't even know. It almost tastes like fruit, like meat fruit. Sweet and briny. They're not sweet like sugary. They're just like, I don't know. Chris Cooking Nashville, help me out. Talk to them about the best way, like which oysters are the best. I love Shigoku, Komoku. I don't really. They all have such weird names. Yes, I'm gonna do way more women's health stuff over here, especially on my live streams. Oh, hi, Alyssa. What's up, sister? Alyssa is my head coach in the group that I was talking to you about. She's working on the project with me. Super secret, top secret, but not really. You could probably guess. Tisha said, my oldest daughter loves raw oysters. She was up here in Seattle last week, and oh, I hear Seattle has amazing ones. I swear she ate 30 of them. Yeah, I bet that broke your bank. They're not cheap, that's for sure. Which is best on carnivore, butter or bacon grease? Well, you're here asking me, so I'm going to tell you. Bacon grease is my preferred fat for everything. Anything you would use olive oil or avocado oil for, I use bacon grease for, and that's just how it goes over here. It's my favorite. All right, I got 5 more minutes, and then I got to hop off here and go be with my little mini-me's. Yeah, Chris is in the comments sharing all his delicious recipes. Chris Cooking Nashville, go watch all his videos. If you need some food inspiration, he doesn't just do carnivore. His stuff is very, like, anyone would love to eat it. Anybody. Thank you, Golf Addict. Hey, what's up, Mama? What's up, Deckard? All right, I got time for one more question. Who's gonna be the lucky girl or boy? Neisha, we need that bacon fat dressing recipe. So, glad you mentioned that. My next video is gonna be like 7 ways I use bacon grease that you should also be doing. One of those is gonna be the salad dressing recipe. It's so simple, it's so easy, and I mean, you wanna have the best salad of your life? Bacon grease. You want to make anything taste amazing? Bacon grease. You want to get your fat content? Bacon grease. I literally just on anything and everything. Blue points or baseline. Yeah, they're not my favorite. They're my least favorite, blue points. They're probably the easiest to get, but my least favorite. My grandson is 1.5 years but won't eat meat. All of a sudden, what's a good meat he might like? Bacon. No, for real, bacon. Most people, most humans love bacon. See if he'll eat bacon. Also deviled eggs. See if, and you can make them look like things like Maria Emmerich she makes deviled eggs into Baby Yoda. They look like Baby Yoda. I've seen people make them look, so kids are like, but yeah, bacon. I also have a chicken nugget recipe. I have like 7 different versions of it. I have a chicken nugget recipe for anyone and everyone. Kids love chicken nuggets. And get some sugar-free ketchup if you have to, because, at the end of the day, the benefits of him eating meat outweigh the sugar-free ketchup, right? Or you can make homemade ranch, anything like that. Okay, guys, that's it. I'm gonna wrap it up. Make sure if you want the free sample pack of Element, check out the link in the description. Thank you guys so much for being here and hanging out with me. If you're not subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you over here. And yeah, I'm gonna go eat some steak tonight, and I'll post probably a short video here. The last time we were in San Antonio, I did a short that was like, I went out to dinner with a carnivore doctor, and I had my voice like AI funny, and people thought I was being serious, but it was supposed to be funny. Anyways, I'll probably just do a normal one because no one understands my sense of humor. I mispronounced pecana. Now I don't know how to pronounce it again. But I did it on purpose in the video, and then after that I was like, now I can't ever pronounce it right. Anyways, it was supposed to be satire, but nobody got it. Alright guys, you can watch this on the replay if you just hopped on. It was a pretty fun time. You guys are awesome, as always. My comment section is the best on the internet, and you can't convince me otherwise. I will see you in the next one. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Love you, mean it. I don't know how to turn this off. How do I turn it off?